Welcome to the Rewards Master Live. This is one of our live extras where we go over different comments that have been made on the channel recently on my videos and just kind of answer questions and go over people's comments, both the good and the bad and the ugly. Some are quite complimentary and some are, well, they're not. So that's just kind of the way that always goes. So let's see. We have a few in here already. Let's see who we have. All right. We got Romine here. Says, hey, everyone. Good to have you with us tonight. Thanks for showing up and coming and dropping in. There's Dem. Hey, Dem, channel member. Good morning from Singapore, leaving for Indonesia in a few. Okay. Few what? Few hours, few minutes, few days? How long are you there for? Singapore's on our bucket list. Maybe it might be a 2027 destination, but I'm just kind of moving Nona into some Asia. So we're going to Hong Kong and Taipei and also Seoul this fall. And then we'll see about other Asian destinations next year. But Singapore is definitely on the bucket list, just even to hang out in the airport. I understand it's one of the most incredible airports imaginable. All right, let's see. Nuracan, how you doing? Says good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining in here on this Friday evening. Free Music is here. Says good afternoon, evening. Says goof, but that's kind of, we're goofy, so that's kind of appropriate, I guess. But yeah, good afternoon to you. Good to have you here. Says nice, Dem. Enjoy. Yep. Roman is complimenting your trip. Dem, you have the trips to be envied. I'll tell you, you have so many great trips. And Dem is appreciative of that. Says in a few hours for about a week. Okay, so you said you're going to Indonesia for a week. That'll be pretty awesome. All right, let's see. It's not giving me a count yet of how many are in here, but I know there's at least about 10 or so. So that's a good way to get started. All right, so not as much in the credit card world news-wise this week, but if anybody has anything they want to bring up or discuss, we can do that, of course. And if not, then we'll dive on into some of the comments that I've had recently on the channel. Juan Garcia. Hey, Juan, good to have you here, channel member. Says, good evening, Bop. Good evening to you, Juan. And Dem says, we're doing a full day in the Jewel, Changi Airport before flying home. Oh, wow. Pretty awesome. That's what I said we would love to do. So Just Gaming is here. Says, hello, Rewards Master. Good to have you, Just Gaming. And good buddy Jimmy Duff says, hey, Bop. Jimmy Duff's a great channel member, and good to have you here with us, Jimmy. Great to have you here tonight. Okay, so again, it's still... I don't know why my phone takes so long to register how many people are in here. It still says 0, but we know that ain't true because of all of you who've been commenting. So let me see if anybody's hit the, well, no one has hit the like button yet, according to what I'm seeing here. So if you would do that, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Ian says, Dem, it's so dope, breathtaking. Yeah, I imagine. Look forward to seeing it someday. Calderd says, Dem, nice move. I wasn't able to catch the Jewel when I was there. All right. And Jimmy says, on a cruise ship heading to Portugal. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Now, I will tell you, Nona and I, Portugal is one of our favorite places. We've only been to Lisbon. We only went for like a weekend. Well, for us, it was a weekend. It was in the middle of the week, but we only stayed for like 3 days. But we had a fantastic time. The food in Lisbon was just amazing. Ian says, and Din Tai Fung for lunch. Oh, okay. I've never heard of it, but that sounds awful good. And Dim drops $1.99. Thank you, Dim. Appreciate that. I guess that still come through in USD, even though you're doing it from halfway across the world. No, I'm just messing with you. But thank you. I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. All right, let's go ahead and get to some of the comments. Oh, it finally updated. It says there's 26 in here watching. That's a good start for just like 4 minutes in. So that's great. And 14 have now hit the like button. So that's a big help. When you hit the like button, when you do anything else like comment, or if you were to subscribe, especially if you join the channel membership, or if you give a super chat, anything like that, that all helps the algorithm. I would love tonight to beat my record. 107 is the most I've ever had in a live before. So that would be awesome. Juan says, saw your video on best mid-tier airline cards as Delta Platinum. Wouldn't the AA Globe card be better mid-tier airline card for loyalty status? Yes, absolutely, for loyalty status. However, in fact, I've got one coming out Monday. My channel members, it's already released to them, so you can see it, Juan. But I do believe that the Delta card is better for non-loyalty hunters. So anybody who is just going to fly 4, 5, 6 times a year or less, and they're just looking for a card that's going to give them a lot of perks, there is no doubt that the Delta Platinum gives back more perks. I mean, it gives back in its credits more than its annual fee, not counting the companion certificate. Now, the AA Globe, which I love the AA Globe and I have it, it gives back it gives you a companion certificate too, but its credits are not near as strong. Now, when it comes to loyalty, Delta's card just gives you 2,500 MQDs to start with. That's pretty good. The AA card, rather, the Globe, it gives you that 5,000 point boost, which is super easy to use. If you have 3 paid round trip flights with a layover, you're getting 15,000. That's the max you can get, 3 times 5,000. And that's super easy. But I would still argue, I mean, I like the Globe because I like AA miles way better, and I'm a status flyer with AA. But as far as just cold, hard facts about what is good for just the non-loyalist, I think that it's hard to beat that Platinum card. And now, both of those are very good, but the United card's fallen way, way behind in my estimation. It doesn't give a companion certificate. So that even right there makes it fall behind. But it does give those, I think it's 2 5,000 point rebates on award flights. So that's pretty helpful, at least. So Isaac is here and says D Typhoon is great. All right. I'll have to try that one of these days. Dim, thanks, Ian Calder. Looking forward to exploring it more. I know you're going to have a fun time. You have to report back. Romain says 14 likes as of now. Let's see what I can see here. I see 18. 34 people watching and 18. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Nurcan, Dim using that summit for all those foreign transactions. And he says VPN. Tampa Travel. Good to have you, Tampa, channel member. Good evening, Bob. Just got in. How were the lounges in Lisbon? As far as lounges go, I'm trying to remember where we went. I think we just went to a priority pass there, if I remember correctly. So we were flying United, and we were just in economy. That's been 3 or 4 years ago. And that was a funny story. So I was on a work flight earlier that year, like in January of that year, from Memphis to Dallas. So just a little short Dallas trip. And it was for work, so I hadn't paid for it. And Nona was also flying to Dallas later that day for her work, because she has to work in Dallas sometimes too. So we were both going to stay together, meet up. We have a child that lives there, so we were going to stay with her. And this is an incredible story. So I was going to get to DFW 4 hours before her, and I was just going to hang out, do a little lounge lizard business, moving around through the lounges and stuff. But as they were calling for the flight to board, they said, well, we're overbooked and we need a volunteer to get $500. So I went up to the gate, and I'd already been upgraded to first class. I went up to the gate and I said, so you're going to get $500 now. When will I get there? And it was crazy. She was flying American. I was flying United. I was going to get there. If I took the later flight and took the $500 credit, I was going to get there at exactly the same time as Nona. So rather than waiting around in the airport in DFW for her for 4 hours, I could just wait around in Memphis for her, and then leave a little later, about the same time she did. And we both get there at the same time. and make an easy $500. So I said, well, I've already been upgraded. Can you put me on first class? And she said, yeah, we'll put you in the first class. I said, okay. So I waited around. And then after they boarded the plane, they called me and 2 other people up, and they gave me my voucher, and it was not $500. It was $2,000, $2,000. And I'm like, what's the deal with this? She said, well, we oversold the flight. We had to get volunteers, and we just kept having to up the number. So the number ended up being 2,000. So all of us got $2,000, but it had to be used by the end of the year. So our trip to Lisbon we were getting close to the end of the year. We had a few days, and I just did a Google flight search, the farthest we could go for exactly $2,000. And I think it was $1,997 for 2 round trip tickets. So that trip was completely free. We did have to fly in economy, but we got upgraded for free to premium economy. So it was pretty decent. It was pretty decent. So you ever gotten a $2,000 flight voucher and get there at basically the same time you needed to? That was crazy. That was a crazy trip. All right. Gabby Huberman. Gabby, good to have you here. Thoughts on pre with 50% boost? It's 2.8 in the portal at that point. Between that and Wells Fargo autograph, which is 1 to 2 to choice, can get 2+ cents per point, I'm finding. Okay, I'm having a brain freeze here. PRE with 50% boost. Clarify for me what you're meaning. I should probably know, but I'm of course I understand exactly about the 1 to 2 to choice. Damn. NordVPN 95X on Rakuten. Oh, hold on. I'm going to make a note. NordVPN 95X Rakuten. Yeah, I'm going to look into that. That's great. Jimmy Duff, going to Lisbon for 3 days, Porto for 3, and then 2 days in Dublin, all on free night certs and miles. Excellent, Jimmy. Excellent. Including business class from Dublin to Chicago on points. All right. Romain says, applied for Delta Gold and got the pop-up window. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in pop-up jail too. You might try business, because I have found that when I'm in pop-up jail for personal cards, it doesn't have anything to do with business. Sometimes I can be approved for those. Them using the Palladium exclusively on this trip, using all of the built cash for more points, keeping pretty healthy Citi and Amex balances. Could always use more built points. Thought about the summit. Okay. Dem, I want to ask you, because we are leaving next week, and I have 2 things I want to say about that. We have 39 in here watching right now, by the way, and it looks like 23 have hit the like button. Please do that. But we're leaving on a big trip to Europe next week. And one of the things I wanted to say, especially for channel members, I'm planning on doing a brief update of our trip every day that we're gone for my channel members. So I hope y'all will enjoy that. It'll probably be something simple. I'd just upload from my phone. But Nona will probably be in all of them too, because of course she'll be with me. So that's that. But on my trip, I have heard negative reports about using the Built Palladium card overseas. I never had trouble with Built 1.0 overseas. I used it all the time as my travel card. Dem, have you had any trouble with it? Are you tapping? Are you using the chip? What are you using? So let me know what you're saying, because I don't want to have any issues with Built. So I'm trying to decide what to do. Dem, but I have pretty healthy Atmos balance too. Good. Gabby says premium rewards, elite B of A. Okay, that's Gabby. That's why I'm just not super familiar with any cashback cards. Let me go back up to your previous comment here. 50% boost. Is that through it's 2.8 in the portal at that point. Between that, Wells Fargo autograph, which 1 to 2 choice, can easily get 2 cents. Yeah, it's hard for me to give much of an opinion on anything that's not a points card, and I'm just not that familiar with things that aren't. So any B of A card, I mean, if it works for you and you want cash back, then that sounds fine. But I'm not the guy to ask. There are others who definitely know better. But any of you who are watching, if you have comments for Gabby, please put that in the comments to help out. New again, just joined. That was a cool flight voucher story, Bob. Yeah, I mean, $2,000. And I got there at the same time. I mean, I was going to be waiting at the airport for her anyway. So it felt like just they handed me $2,000 for free. I still have my first class flight. It was pretty cool. Damn, careful coming back from Lisbon. Those airport employees are always on strike and cause unexpected delays. Nuracan, for backup for next February, just book 3 premium economy seats on JAL for my return home from NRT Narita to Seattle using Atmos points. My goal is to book on ANA Business or First using Virgin. All right, I'm liking that you're booking backup flights. That is what Bop does all the time. I mean, that is my go-to play. And so, yeah, just book what you can live with, that you can cancel, and then be working on getting something better. So that's what I always do, and I think that's a great plan. Romine, wasn't a direct application. I tried to book round-trip JFK to Las Vegas, and the offer was $500 cash plus 60K points. That's good, too. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. I almost always, if I have time to spare, and they tell you in the app, would you like to bid to take a later flight? I'll click in there and I'll bid the highest number. If it's like $800 or something, it never really happens. But if it does happen, I'd be willing to take their $800 usually. So I can hang out in a lounge or whatever. But even if I had to get a hotel room, if I'm flexible, to me, $800, that would be worth, a hotel night or whatever. Dim says, I've had 0 issues. Didn't even need to place travel notice since it tracks where I am with the app. Had one street vendor that was rejected where I received a text to confirm. Typed yes, and apparently it went through. Good deal. Well, and I'll probably try to use mine then. Deb, 5-figure spend on Apple Pay, no issues here in Southeast Asia. Oh, wow. 5-figure spend, Apple Pay. Cool. Jessica says, hey, Rewards Master and everyone. Jessica's a channel member. Thank you. Thank goodness it's Friday. Yes, it is. Isaac says, I'm on the West Coast and my airport is SFO. I'm also going to be renting soon. What do you think of Summit? Or should I go for built Palladium and just transfer to Atmos? Well, it depends on if you want status or not. I think the Summit thing for renters, supposedly it doesn't work. I've heard, I think it was Dem say that he's found a way to make it work. But typically, if you're got a mortgage, they don't want you to do that. But I think it works pretty well with an Atmos card. And so, yeah, you're going to have to pay that 3% fee. But if you want the status, and you will get more points that way. So if I was renting, I would strongly consider doing that. Strongly. All right. So let's see. How much did we get? We got almost 50 in here now. That's pretty awesome. 30 people have hit the like button. If anyone hits the like, or if you subscribe to the channel, that helps a ton as well. Also, if you give any super chats, super stickers, or memberships, anything like that helps us to bump up more. I hope we get even more coming in to be able to maybe get close to my record before. So we'll see. All right, I'm going to add some of these to the stage and we'll go through them. Now, this was on a recent video that I did entitled, Are the Golden Years of Points and Miles in the Past? Maybe Not. And what I was addressing is I'm hearing so much gloom and doom about and there have been just a absolute tidal wave of devaluations and negative changes. There's been a lot of those. But I was trying to give a little bit of perspective that, yes, these are not good things, but not everything is bad, because especially with Built, I mean, we've got arguably, and I would argue, the best credit card that's ever been made. And understand, I have the Citi Prestige card, which is a pretty rockin' awesome card. And I still think, and I'm going to do a video soon where I just rank what are the best cards in my wallet. And I think the Built Palladium card is probably going to come out on the top. I mean, you're getting over 3, if you work it right, you're getting over 3x on everything. And mine's like 3.6x on everything. So yeah, I mean, you can get points on your mortgage now, on your rent. You couldn't do that in the past. So I was kind of trying to give a little perspective on it. Well, Curious George said, not everything is bad. Still a lot of opportunities to have wonderful vacations playing the game. Yeah, this game is still going. It's still active. And I think George got it exactly right that there are a lot of negatives, but there are positives too. I mean, we just talked about Rakuten. What a way to rack up points. Rove Miles. What a way to whack up points. I mean, there's all sorts of new things happening in the game. And I think that has to be acknowledged if we're going to be fair about it. Still about 50 in here watching. That's great. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. No comments on that so far. This is on my video, and there'll be several comments on this time. But this is on my video entitled, Everyone Panicking About Citi, Should You? Everyone's panicking about Citi, should you? And I'm talking about the two big Citi evaluations that have been reported, and just the sky is falling with so many people, where Citi is, first of all, they're not allowing point sharing anymore in the future. And the other thing, now their point sharing wasn't that great anyway because it expired in 3 months, but it did help if you needed to pull together for a specific redemption. And then also, of course, they have changed their transfer partner ratios with their hotel partners. I prefer was 1-4, which was awesome. Now it's 1-2, which is not as awesome. And it was 1-2 with Citi. Now it's 1-1.5 with, not with Citi, with Choice. Now it's 1-1.5. So I was commenting on those aren't good. I mean, I tried to be as unbiased as I can be because they don't mean a lot to me because I don't use hotel points. So it's like I have so many credits for hotels that I wouldn't get to use them all if I tried to use any hotel points. So for me, it's irrelevant. But I still tried to argue the point that Citi still has incredible earnings and a great point system and great point value. Well, Zenikiro, I guess that's how you say it, said, I'm more bummed about the Citi Strata preferred possibly losing the 3X categories. And I wanted to comment on that because the Citi Strata preferred is probably the most powerful mid-tier card in the game. Maybe the Obsidian card it's equal depending on how you use it, but it's very, very good. And it has a bunch of 3X categories, 3X dining, 3X grocery, 3X gas. I mean, it's just very, very good. And there's been some rumors, and those rumors came from a survey that Citi sent out that said that what would it be like if we did this? And they changed up the card, they raised the price, they wouldn't have as many 3X categories and all that. And my response to this is that with Citi, you always just got to wait and see. I mean, I don't know. Citi is just different. If Amex decides they're going to do something, they do it. If Chase decides to do something, they do it. And if those people send out a survey, it's probably got a high likelihood of coming about. But when it comes to Citi, I mean, sometimes they let you product change to certain cards, and then they don't. And then they change their mind, and then they do. And then, there's rumors they're going to not let us keep the prestige, but then it's like they forget about us. It's Citi. And with Citi, it's just like a brand new day every day. So I wouldn't get overly bent out of shape about a survey. That does not mean that Citi's going to make a change. And if they do, that might be a change that comes in 4 years from now or something. You just never know with Citi. So that's kind of my take on that one. All right, we got 57 in here watching now. That's awesome. Let's see how many. 33 have hit the like button. That's great. Hit that like button if you haven't done so. Let's see. We have any more comments coming in? Yes, we do. Paul Davis, for those no annual fee cards that you no longer have use for, keep or cancel. I keep them. Unless I'm in a situation like with Amex where you have a 5-card max, and then I might cancel one just to open up a spot. In fact, I'm getting ready to do that with that everyday card because I just don't need it anymore. And but I've kept it because my kids were on it, and it helped their credit. But they all have houses now, so I figured it doesn't matter. So I'll probably get rid of that. But generally, if there's not a reason to cancel them, I don't. So that's just kind of how I've done it. Family Travel John, channel member, says, Isaac, I got approved for Palladium and Summit on the same day. Same day. Freeze your credit after the Palladium pre-approval before you accept, and you don't even get a hard pull. Okay. I never got a hard pull on the Palladium. I didn't do it that way. I just never got one. So, Gabby, keep no reason to cancel and will help credit utilization. That's my perspective. No reason to cancel. Family Travel John says, but if I was renting, I would definitely use the Summit for 3x Atmos and 1x built on housing. Yep, that is a smoking good deal. That's my point about renting versus having a mortgage. Tampa Travel, what are your thoughts on the recent changes to AA status privileges, i.e., seat selection for basic economy? Well, you know, anytime they make changes to basic economy, it just kind of goes over my head because I don't think I've ever booked a basic economy seat. I mean, I just don't because you don't get the same earnings, you don't get some of the same perks. It's just to me, it's not worth the $20 that you save. And usually when I'm booking flights, it's with points and they don't even offer that. I think Delta is the only one of the big three that you can even with points even purchase a basic economy. So I just never purchase them. So to me, it's somewhat irrelevant. Isaac says, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. John also could be my dining card as well. Yep. It's a pretty good card for all of that. Mike Newland. Hey, Mike. Good to have you here. I just hope they don't nerf the booking portal getting 10x on the Premier. Yeah, that's good. It's even better with the Elite 12x. I mean, Citi's portal earnings are really, really strong. Okay. Dem says 12x with the CSE, Mike. Step up your game and you won't have any issue. That's true. Dem laughs about it. Nurkan, did you hear that here with Priority Pass, you can now go into the Alaska Lounge at SFO for $15? Hope this is not true. Yeah, I've never been in the Alaska Lounge at SFO, and I very seldom fly through SFO. But yeah, that would be a nerf to anybody who had access to a lounge if they open it up. A good example of this is I fly to Sacramento a lot because my son lives there. And so I'm probably flying into Sacramento and I'll even route work through there if I can so I can see him. And so I'm probably flying in there 6 times, 7 times a year. And I always go to the Escape Lounge there in the terminal. Now, they have 2. They have one in the terminal that has all the Southwest flights. I never go into that one, of course. But the one that has Delta, United, American, they have a little Escape Lounge. It's fine. It's very small. The food's okay. The bar's okay, all that stuff. But I go into that one, and before to get in there, you had to have an Amex card, an Amex Platinum, Business Platinum, or a Delta Reserve. And it was never busy. It was awesome. Now with Priority Pass, they accept Priority Pass now. Oh my, finding a seat in that place is hard. So I think that's the fear about SFO and Alaska. And if they're allowing, passes for $15, because some people will pay the $15. I don't know if I'd even pay the $15 for a lounge, but I have access pretty much to every lounge except United lounges. So new again, biggest nerf to Citi program is not being able to transfer points to another. Will be more Citi nerfs though, 100%. Now my player 2 will stay with Chase. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Citi may nerf, but they may change back. That's Citi for you. Mike Newland, if they nerf the booking portal, that would be a downgrade, not an upgrade, Rewards Master. Not going to let it go, are you, Mike? Not going to let it go about the upgrades. Dim. Spirit First Row is not an upgrade. Yeah, that could be shirt number 2. Spirit First Row. Spirit's big seat. Is that what they call it? The big front seat? Not an upgrade. Ron Byrne, channel member, says, do you own a convertible Mustang? If so, is it a stick? I do own a convertible Mustang. It is Windover blue, and it is not a stick. It's an automatic, but it is a GT, and I love it. It's old, though. Point CFO, go Prestige. Yeah, it's still the best of the best. I don't know, though. Gary, do you think if you had to only be able to keep your Prestige or your Built Palladium card, which one'd you keep? Now, with this caveat that it's not going to go away. I mean, either one that you choose, you're going to get to keep in perpetuity. But you could only keep one. Which one would it be, Gary? Because that is a hard choice if I'm thinking about that fictional possibility. So I want to know what you think. Dim says Prestige. It's fire. Prestige Palladium Summit, perfect for One World status, JAL, Hyatt, Atmos, and those great 3X international spend. Yep, it's strong. It's powerful. Sleepy Rod, Chase is garbage now that Hyatt is nuked. Citi is leagues above Chase. I agree. In fact, Wednesday I do have a video, a collaboration I did with Travis Travels. We did 2 of them back to back, and he's got one going on his channel. Mine's going. We're talking about Citi cards on his. We're talking about Chase cards on mine. We kind of flipped a coin type thing, metaphorical coin, and I lost. So I got the Chase. Neither he or I are big Chase people, but I did try to be honest about their upsides, and I do think that Citi's better. But I don't think Chase's transfer partners, even without Hyatt, are bad, because they do have Aeroplan and they have some other decent ones. But especially with Aeroplan, I would always find great use for Aeroplan. And they do run bigger transfer bonuses. I don't even know if the others even run transfer bonuses. But I think, just to be fair, that their transfer bonuses aren't bad. They're better than Capital One. I mean, they just are. But they don't measure up to Citi. Mike, on Spirit, you don't need an upgrade when it's called the big seat. That's right, the big seat. Yeah, they're just trying to make you forget that that they charge you for the air that you breathe. I'm joking, but it's almost like you get off the plane of Spirit Airlines and it's like, yeah, you owe us $43 because it was a half a cent per breath that you took of our air on the flight. I mean, it's not quite that bad, but it could be. Point CFO, Alaska Lounge SFO is usually 80% empty. Love the silence and few at the bar. Yeah, but if the Priority Pass people get to pay $15, might not be that way. Alaska charges even more than American for it lounges and has half the lounges. Yeah, true that. New again, Citi doesn't have the subs Chase has. True, but it's once in a lifetime now with Chase. So those subs are, for many of us deep in this game, it's that game's over. I mean, I've had the reserve. I've had the premier card, Citi, Chase, Sapphire, preferred card, excuse me. And those subs are gone now. So and the ink cards, I mean, you can't do the ink train anymore. So I don't know that they're much better than Citi now. I mean, the Elite card has a pretty good bonus. Nurcan, yeah, I love the Alaska Lounge SFO better than the club there. I'm sure better than the club. Stinky Monkey Baby, channel member, good to have you here. Just checking in. Who's panicking? No one should be. LOL. 2026, Sleepy Rod says 2026 Chase doesn't have the subs 2024 Chase had. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. Point CFO, the Prestige and the B of A Elite allow $28 times 2 at the Terminal 1 Southwest restaurant called Late Cream. Awesome. Yeah. I love going through the Houston airport with that, because what he's talking about is the B of A card and the Prestige card both still allow restaurant access. $28 per person times 2, $56 when you go to Priority Pass restaurants. And SFO has some. Seattle has the most. That's the most I found. And I think they had like 5 or 6 there. There's 2 really good ones in Houston. And I have many times went through Houston and went to one to eat, Landry's, and then went to I think it's called Cadillac or something. It's like a Mexican place. Great food. And I've gotten takeout there and paid for it with it to take on the plane with me. So yeah, that is crazy good. The restaurant benefit with Priority Pass. Gary says via the special Priority Pass for those 2 cards. That's right. Paul Davis, channel member, is Amex starting to do away with transfer bonuses? Seems like they are more infrequent. I don't know for sure, but it does seem like they're more infrequent than they used to be. It does seem that way. Medic 624 finally got off work and can join. I have a feeling all of our issuers are fixing to tighten down pretty hard on sign-up bonuses. Yeah, I don't know. Amex is running their business cards pretty big, though. I mean, $200,000 for a business gold, 300,000 up to, of course, 300,000 for a business platinum. I mean, that's crazy high, crazy high. I mean, when I got my business platinum, I think I got 200,000 on it last time. I've had 2 or 3 of them, but the last one. And then business gold, I think I got 150, and the spend's still the same. So I don't know. Maybe that's the case. Maybe it won't be. Calder, it's good to have you here. Says Citi Nights is a points earning machine using my former built day rent strategy of getting multiple Chipotle bowls to go and eating over the next couple days. That's what I used to do with Built. I would buy gift cards to restaurants we wanted to go to on rent day. And yeah, you can do that now on Citi Nights, especially if you use the Mileage Plus X app. You can just buy the gift cards right there in the app and get your 6X. Plus whatever you get with Mileage Plus X and United Miles. Free music. I'm hoping Amex has a transfer bonus to BA, Iberia, Qatar for Avios for a trip to London next year. I mean, you got a good shot that they will. I mean, one of the most frequent ones they do is British Airways. So you got a good shot. Damn, I have a 3.5-hour layover when I fly back from Singapore. Is the Amex lounge worth checking out? That Seattle club leaves a lot to be desired. The Amex lounge in Seattle, is that what you're talking about? Yeah, that is nice. I mean, that's my favorite one that I know of that I've been to. I haven't been to all of them, but the ones I've been to, I like the one in Seattle. Tell me if others agree. In Seattle, yeah. Abby Kayan says, Dem, happy birthday. All right, Dem's birthday. Good. Happy birthday. Dem, I hit 200,000 Biz Gold subs this year and another 75,000 Blue Business Plus with Amex. Up to 12 Amex cards. Biz subs aren't going anywhere for now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that we can say that the subs are changing, but Amex seems to be rolling strong, at least on the business side, for sure. All right, we got 64 people in here. That is awesome. 36 have hit the like button. Hit the like button if you haven't. Any super chats, super stickers, channel memberships, anything like that helps, and hopefully we'll get even more. The highest I've ever had in a live was 107, so it'd be awesome if we had even more than that. Okay, the next one that I have on here is it was on a members only video. I put out at least one members only video every week, and this was what would an all-airline card setup look like? And so this is it's been a while ago since I put this one out. And Paul Davis said, I put my spend on AA cards, mostly for the loyalty points. I've been AA Executive Platinum for years, get upgraded north of 50% of the time. That is amazing. That's good, even for Executive Platinum. My major categories, grocery, restaurant, gas, are at 2X on at least one AA card, and I also get bonus 50 or 60K AA miles at various milestones. When I factor everything in, my Globe Executive Miles Up AA business setup outperforms the various thank you point setups. And I love my AA, and I don't have all those cards, but now that my Aviator Red card is transferring over to a Platinum card, I'll have all of them but the Mile Up. But I just don't see how. I mean, the loyalty points are a totally different issue. But as far as earnings, I just don't see how those earnings, because, I mean, you're getting 2X, you get 4X on flights with the executive card, but you're just not getting the high earnings that you would, say, with a custom cash setup. You know, you have the Premier or you have the Elite, and then you have a bunch of custom caches. I just don't see how it can outperform if you're using just AA cards what you're going to get with a Citi setup, unless your primary emphasis is loyalty points, and then your secondary desire is to have points that you can use to book flights. So that's kind of, Paul, how I would evaluate that. But I get it. I love those loyalty points also. Dem says, thanks. Nurcan, happy birthday, Dem. Enjoy your day. Yep. Happy birthday to Dem. Happy birthday to Dem. Thank you, Nurcan. Very good. 75 people. We got 75 people in here. Hit the like button, please. That is awesome. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed. That's great. All right. The next one was on an old video I had out Hidden Gem and JFK free massage with priority pass. So the other thing that's awesome about my Citi Prestige card, and that would be true of the B of A card also that Gary mentioned earlier, is it also gives all of the amenities. So any of the, like, if you want to stay in one of those hour long, you get a little room to sleep in and stuff like that. Or if you want to go to the game place and play video games for an hour, that's free. But have you seen these places? And there's two of them, I think, in JFK, where they have these massage chairs, and you get like a 30-minute session for free for two people. So Nona and I did that. We're going to be going through JFK again next week. We'll probably do it again. And let's see. Yenny says, quick question, where's the spa located in reference to the Sapphire Lounge? Well, I only put this one in here so just I could tell you all about how cool it is to do those massage chairs. It was really nice, really nice. But there are, like I said, two of them. One of them, whereas the Sapphire Lounge, I think it's also the Etihad Lounge in JFK. That's upstairs, kind of in the lounge level. You got to go up an elevator. But this is on the main level, down below, a little ways down the airport, down below that level, on the main level where all the gates are and things. Okay, before we get, let's see, comments. Medic says, I run most of my spend through AA shopping portal as well as some non-category spend. Yeah. I mean, AA shopping portal will get you a lot of points and a lot of loyalty points. And their hotel portal even more. It is crazy good. Point CFO, Gary says, Prestige with 5X on air and restaurants with 3X hotel wins, $495, $250 travel credit, fourth night free twice per year. Also gives special priority pass with restaurant access at 28 times 2. So what you're saying, Gary, is if you had to choose in perpetuity between the Prestige and the Built Palladium, you would choose the Prestige. Man, that'd be a hard choice for me because the way now another caveat would be that neither card could change. So neither system could change because I'm thinking, even though I love my Prestige card, that Built Palladium with that points multiplier and being able to use the extra Built Cash 1-to-1, it's just kind of crazy good. It's a hard choice. Gary says, then I would then pair this with the double cash card to get 2X and a few custom cash cards, and then that would be my new setup. I'd miss the Palladium, but it would still be a better deal, I think. Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't get any mortgage points or rent points, but yeah, I for overall spend, it would be very, very strong, no doubt. Dim says, point CFO, I'm only paying 175 with an authorized user, so it makes the value proposition that much stronger for the Prestige. Yeah, that's right. Medic says, my wife loves getting her 30-minute massage before heading to the plane or during the connection. I honestly think she enjoys it more than the lounge. It's pretty enjoyable. I mean, and last time when we went through, I was blind the whole trip because I sat on my glasses and messed them up, and I had to fix them with tape and all that. But I still wouldn't have, and I was in that massage chair that I sat on my glasses, but I still wouldn't have undone it because it was really a good time. Deb says Palladium over Prestige any day. Okay. Jessica, Rewards Master, I agree with you on the all AA setup compared to Citi thank you cards. The opportunity cost of putting all spend on co-branded cards seems very high to me, even if you could get 50% upgrades. Yeah, it's a lot of it. I mean, apparently, from what the comment stated, he's putting a lot of spend. If he's getting those milestone benefits with AA, that's a lot of spend. And it'd be tens, if not hundreds of thousands of points less. So that many less AA points when it comes down to it. Gary says the ROI for Prestige, double cash, and a few custom cash to unlock American Airlines gives a simple high ROI. It does. It does for sure. Big JP, channel member, says, love you live, Bop. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Glad you're enjoying it. If you all are all enjoying it, please hit the like button. Like I said, that and subscriptions, any kind of super chat, super sticker, anything like that, all helps the algorithm, helps us to get more people in here. All right. Next one. Everyone's panicking about Citi. Should you? This is again on that. And here's Dim. Dim from Singapore. I don't know if he was in Singapore when you made this comment, Dim. But Dim said, I stayed quite a few I prefer properties over the years, and currently I'm staying at one. They're on the higher end of boutique hotels and never disappoint. That being said, all of these changes have no impact on me personally, as I don't pool my thank you points with player two and don't use points for hotel redemptions. Yeah, you and I are exactly the same way. I did use on our big trip in the fall, I've used points for like the hotel we got to stay in LA near LAX on the way back for an overnight for the repositioning. And another one, I had a few IHG. I had enough to book the Intercontinental in Hong Kong. So I did that for a night just to burn up those points. But they're not points that I value because pretty much I have so many hotel credits. So I'm at the same boat as you. But yeah, I mean, I've not stayed in I prefer, but I'm sure they were very nice. But we're talking a very small footprint. So does it really nerf Citi that bad? I guess that's really the question. And for some people, maybe. Some people, maybe. Deb says, I was in Singapore staying at the Artisan, which is an I prefer property. Yep. Okay, cool. Gary says, having said that, I've also earned over 400,000 points with 3 built Palladiums in the family, plus using all accelerators to push massive spend through the card with business spend, but no taxes. No, you can't do taxes on it. They don't allow that. Medic says, I think you honestly have to weigh a few value points more or status more. Out of my small airport, having gold status is almost a guaranteed upgrade 90% of the time. Yeah, I found that. I mean, I fly out of Memphis, which isn't really a small airport, but it's certainly not a hub for anybody. And I just don't get a lot. I mean, when I was Platinum Pro, which is the second to the highest public tier, I didn't get a lot of upgrades. And as a Delta Platinum, I didn't get a lot of upgrades. But when I was in a United Platinum, I did. And so I don't know. I think it's hard to judge. It's just, I think one way to look at it is you can pull up how many flights and how many passengers are on each airline. And whichever the smallest of those is, probably you're going to have better upgrades on that if you have status with that carrier. Like, for instance, when I lived in the Detroit area years ago, I did not fly Delta. I flew United because a lot of the places I was going, I could fly United. And I don't usually mind a short layover. And with my United Gold status at the time, I was upgraded all the time because nobody flies United out of Detroit. Everybody flies Delta. So there's different strategic ways of looking at it. And you're right. It's about, do you want points more? You want status more? Because you're probably giving up one for the other. That's fair, Medic. I think that's very fair. Paul Davis, I build the card AI models at Wells, and we dumped Built because the math didn't work. I strongly suspect the same for Built 2.0 Palladium and cardless may not last. Yeah, Paul, I think you've commented on things before. That's so interesting that you work at Wells. I mean, just if the reports of the $10 million a month loss were true, then yeah, that's rough. Maybe the hope is that they're getting enough spend to offset that because their new system really encourages high spend on the cards. But, are those swipe fees going to make up the difference of all that they're giving away? I don't know. I'm going to get the points while I can. I'm going to use them while I can because I think I don't think there's any guarantee it's going to last forever, for sure. Medic, I don't think it's sustainable either, but hey, I'm getting it while the getting's good. Make hay while the sun is shining. Is that how they say it? I think that's how they say it. All right. Almost 60 in here now. Let's see. Hit the like button if you would. I think we have 45 who've hit the like button so far. All right. Let's move on to the next comment to address. This is on, are the golden years of points and miles in the past? FLX New York channel member says, I hope the idea behind Built Cash catches on with other issuers. It allows cardholders to choose which credits fit their spending and lifestyle while not feeling like they need to use less desirable credits to get their annual fee back. The coupon book is a bit more palatable if you get to choose the coupons. Yeah, I think that is a great comment, because that's what I love that about Built. It's a kind of a choose your own adventure. It's a choose your own credits, and you're not losing out because you're using the same, their own currency to purchase this or that, not this, and then you miss out on that if you don't use it, which is very much a cool concept. So I hope so too. I hope so, FLX, that it's going to catch on. I think that they have to survive for a while first, and I would think the other issuers are waiting to see, how does Built do. But if they do, maybe we'll have some. It may be a golden age of credit cards because of that. Hey, Blinken, good to have you here, Blinken. I've been moving my Built points as soon as I earn them because I don't think it'll last. But that diminishes some of the value of them being transferable. Yeah, and it also limits your ability to use their transfer bonuses when they come around on the first of the month, which are also very valuable. That's why I haven't done. I'm trying to set a threshold of how many you want to keep for a great transfer bonus, and I think I'm going to set that at 50,000. I have a lot more than that, but I think I'm going to set that at 50,000 and just keep those in, and then transfer the others to Atmos or something like that. All right. Just Gaming says using points as you get them is insane. It's going to disappear overnight. Yeah, that's the fear for sure. Comments on this same video about the golden ears. I got Dim again. It's the Dim show on his birthday. That is awesome. So that's that. I didn't even plan that. So that's cool. Built is a huge contributing factor to what can be a new golden age of credit cards. They're calling out the big boys while innovating the lane as they're playing in. Yeah, I think that's 100% true. And that will be the key. And the others are peeling back, it seems like. But yeah, it's they could change everything if they do find a way to survive. Hey, Blinken, points lost overnight and happened before. Yeah, it did with Mesa for sure, but I think Built's probably stronger than Mesa was. But time will tell. 57 in here right now. That's a good number. All right. This is on his Citi Ruined. Sean Credit says, I have the Citi Strata card. I'm on cruise control with Citi. I couldn't care less. Citi doesn't want to lend to me either, other than many co-branded cards I have. I'm fine with it. Citi isn't my preferred bank anyway. And I put this on here just to comment on. Citi does seem to be very hard for some people to get. It seems like right now, Wells Fargo might be the hardest. Well, depending. Capital One's probably the hardest cards to get. And then maybe Wells Fargo, and then maybe Citi. So they seem to be very, very difficult for some people. Medic says, I'm kind of gambling a little bit. However, when they drop transfer bonuses that I really want, they're all getting dumped. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm looking at. Like I said, I'm going to keep back about 50K and then see if the transfer bonuses come through good. All right. This is on a members only video that I did. That's me sitting on my tractor up there because I was working that day and just this popped in my mind. So I wanted to share it. And it's called, I saved $160, upgraded to a better seat for free without status. And Tampa Travel, who's been in here, I think tonight already, Rewards Master, you're right that the UA Travel Bank hack is nerfed on the Platinum, yet not the Aspire. It has to do with the benefits description. The Aspire credit is a flight credit, not an incidental credit like the Platinum. It just worked for me on April 2nd. Yeah, I agree, Tampa, that Aspire's different. You've always been able to use the Aspire card credit for airfare or whatever. So yeah, it'll still work on that. Also, the desk at some of the larger Delta lounges, and this was a really interesting comment, can reassign seats. I have a silver status with a reserve card. My player 2 and I went up to the Delta Lounge desk in Atlanta with our nicest approach and asked if there might be availability in first class for our flight. She said she also goes by the doesn't hurt to ask approach. I scanned our boarding passes, and the next thing I know, there were 2 new first class seat assignments. That is awesome, Tampa. That is, and in the video, I was talking about how I got a better seat assignment with United, even though I have no status or nothing, just by asking nicely. But I did point out that if you don't have any level of status, this whole thing about, well, you can get first class upgrades just by being really nice or dressing a certain way or whatever, that's in the past. I just got a better economy seat assignment, an aisle seat and an extra legroom seat. So it's kind of a balance. I think there are still some benefits to just being friendly and being nice, but there are limits to it too. It's not this myth that maybe used to be true, but it's not anymore, that you're just going to get business class upgrades because you dress a certain way and you're nice to the people at the gate. I mean, that's not going to happen. YouTube experiment. You competing with NASA? Bold move. NASA? What am I competing with NASA? Are they launching something? I don't even pay attention to stuff. Mike Newland. What did I hear about Chase giving points for mortgage? I haven't had a chance to keep up today, if anybody knows. What I heard about that is that Chase sent out something that they're going to give points for new mortgages, like if somebody opens a new mortgage. And I actually got something from Chase Mortgage. I haven't opened it yet, but that's the way I understand it. So Mike, from what I know, they're not offering like what Built does, pay your mortgage and you get some Chase points. I think they're just kind of dipping their toe into, if you initiate a new mortgage with Chase, then you can get some points. So that seems to be what it is. Somebody correct me if I'm incorrect about that. Just Gaming 6245 says, have we forgotten Built got huge funding? I understand being skeptical after a year or two, but 2 months is ridiculous in my opinion. Yeah, well, we'll see. Nuracan, anyone holding the Palladium and being an authorized user with the Obsidian worth it for annual fee 150 total? Anyone holding the Palladium and being an authorized user with the Obsidian worth it for $150 annual? How are you getting $150 annual fee on the Palladium? And if you have the Palladium, hold the Palladium. I'm not sure what you're asking there. YouTube experiment. They're returning back from the moon mission. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize. Gary says, Palladium may be better than Prestige, but customer service has been poor out of the gate. Built is a one-card system. Citi allows combos to max points in the ecosystem. True. Very true. YouTube says the Artemis 2. Okay. All right. Artemis 2, returning back from the moon. You got 55 in here still watching? Probably not a great night for me to hope to get above my max because, well, I'm competing with the moon landing, so that wouldn't work. This is also on that same members only video I did. And Tampa Travel again says Rewards Master. Well, oh, I guess that's the same comment. Guess I put it up there twice. All right, this one's on that same video. And this one's from my good friend Mike Newland, who's in here tonight. Mike won't let it go about Bop's opinion that, Delta Comfort Plus is not an upgrade. And so I made the mistake. In the video title of calling it an upgrade. I saved $160, upgraded to a better seat for free without status. Well, I shouldn't have used that language because I should have known somebody, particularly Mike Newland, was going to catch me on that because they moved me from a middle seat in the back to a extra legroom seat on the aisle, and I did. I committed that cardinal sin. I called it in the title an upgrade. So this is my repentance. It is not an upgrade. Mike, you got me? It is not an upgrade, okay? Not an upgrade. I was just given a better seat. How's that? Is that a better way to say it? So appreciate you, Mike. Funny stuff. Mike Newland said, the same Mike Newland said, I'm in Palladium, authorized user and primary on the Obsidian. Okay. Primary on the Obsidian and authorized user on Palladium. But that would be more than $150 total annual fee. That's what confused me. YouTube experiment. I have the Palladium for the 3X. Yeah, it's good stuff. Mike Newland said, yes, upgrade. Ebby Kayan, channel member, gifted 5 Rewards Master memberships. Thank you, Ebby. Thank you so much. So if you receive one of those, make sure to post a thanks and thank you from the channel as well. That is awesome. Awesome. Nurcan, sorry, $95 for primary and $50 for the authorized user on the Obsidian. Okay, now I get it. Yeah. So you get 95 for the primary and you get 50 on the Obsidian for the authorized user. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the Obsidian. I do think it has some compelling categories, but they're not compelling to me because unless, let me ask you all this. I've heard rumors that the Obsidian grocery category works at Walmart. Is that true? Does it work at Walmart? Just going through Walmart and paying at Walmart or online at Walmart or whatever? Because if that's true, then we're going to get the Obsidian card in our player two's name, in Nona's name, because we shop so much at Walmart. It's nuts how much we shop at Walmart. So yeah, that would work great. But if not, I have no use for that because even if I get 4X, use the accelerator and get 4X at dining, I have the prestige, so I get 5X at dining when I'm not using Citi Nights with the other. So okay, Big Kev, the alcohol is free in Comfort Plus. That's true, but that's true in Main Cabin Extra on American Airlines. It's true on American too. It's not true on United, or at least it wasn't as of a year ago when I was flying still with status with them. It's not true on United, but that's still true on American as well. So that's not really a bump over their competitor. At least I don't think so. But clearly some don't agree. So clearly they don't. Point CFO, I moved all my built points to JAL on the 125% rent day bonus at the platinum level. It was too good to pass up. Yep, that was a great transfer bonus for sure. Medic, this is probably one of the funniest hot button topics out there right now. I know. It's so crazy, Medic, because when I did a video that had like 7 hot takes, 7 unpopular opinions, and the others were really, really unpopular opinions, like points hoarding is good, things that I do that other people don't do, and that, stuff like that. And then this little one at the end, I just threw in, and I threw it in just kind of as a side note. Comfort Plus is not an upgrade. And it just went crazy, it just went crazy. So, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. It just was funny. And then some, i.e., Mike Newland, won't let it go. Love you, Mike. Medic, I have Platinum Pro, and yes, it's nice to be able to select the main cabin seat at booking. Yep. You can do it with Platinum, too. I just dropped to Platinum. I was Platinum Pro for the last 3 or 4 years. But I just dropped to Platinum because I wasn't getting upgrades anyway, so I still can book those. And it is funny. I called the Platinum line the other day for some customer service, and I'll tell you, I got just as good a service as I did with Platinum Pro. So that was good. Big Kev. SCC, is the built Palladium even worth it for non-renters? If you have a mortgage, for sure. But I think it's an awesome card if you didn't have any housing payments. It's awesome. I mean, it's 3X everywhere. Just use you could accumulate all your built cash, not have to use any of it for housing, use all of it for points accelerator. You got a 3X card on everything with great transfer partners. Medic, it's nice to get an upgrade. Yeah, it's nice to get an upgrade. Yeah. All right. Okay, what do we got? This is on my recent video on the American Express Platinum card and how I've changed my mind on it completely. I was wrong about Amex Platinum. Now I love it. And Dwayne's 2000 says the Saks credit is going away and will be replaced by a yet to be announced store. Yeah, the way I understand it, it's not necessarily going to be replaced by a yet to be announced store like another store. I think they're going to try to replace it like with some special Amex offers, maybe. That's what I've heard. If anybody's heard anything different, let me know. Medic's laughing at that. That is upgrade. That's right. That is an upgrade. All right, we got 50 still watching in here. Got a few more slides to get through. So we'll go just a minute longer. Okay, this is I tested Built's hotel portal. This is when I talked about how I tested Built's hotel credits. Here's what actually happened. I booked for the creator meetup in September, ended up booking something. And Gnosis says, I already used the $200 credit plus the $50 monthly credit. Very easy to use. I also use the Lyft credit back every month, $10, and the Walgreens credit. Yeah, I'm telling you, what people are sleeping on is that Built Cash is just overpowered right now. I mean, we all were wondering in the beginning, what use is this going to be? But it's got, I mean, let's say you just used $100 Built Cash every month for hotel credit. That's a $1,200 a year hotel credit card. I mean, that's crazy. It's extra on top of the points that you're earning. I'm telling you, there's so many facets to the Obsidian card. So many different ways you could get value from it. Mike says the Obsidian is not online, though. The Obsidian is not online, though. Okay. Not sure. The Obsidian is not online, though. What do you mean by not online? Like it's on the app, right? I mean, what do you mean by that? Dem says, I just received an upgrade to a suite with a private pool at the Indigo property thanks to my Amex Platinum. Underrated perk. So FHR? I just booked an FHR tonight. We booked at the Shangri-La this fall in Taipei. And I've heard it's an awesome. We had that, or we thought about the Mandarin Oriental, but from what I read, the Shangri-La had better perks. So in store, not online. Oh, you're talking about, okay, I get it. Yeah, you're talking about the Walmart. So you said the Obsidian is not online though. Okay. So you can use it in store, but still. So if you did the Accelerator 4X on Walmart in store, yeah, that's pretty compelling. Big Kev says he means online Walmart is 1X, in store is 3X. Okay, got it. Well, that's crazy at Christmas time. I mean, buying everything Walmart has, that's crazy. Good job, Dem. That's an upgrade. It is. We can all agree that is an upgrade. That is an upgrade for sure. For sure. All right, we got 47 watching, getting close to the end of the comments. In fact, that was the last one. All right. Well, we could still talk for a minute if anybody has any more questions or comments, but I want to thank everybody for being in here tonight. Let's go back through. Ebby Can gifted 5 Rewards Master memberships. Thank you so much for that. Going back up a little bit. Let's see. Dem gave $1.99 super chat, super sticker. Thank you, Dem. Appreciate that. I think that's what we had tonight. Appreciate it all very, very much. I do want to tell you all about my channel memberships, particularly my Spreadsheet Warriors. And that's what Mike Newland is talking about right here when he says, see you on the Zoom tomorrow. I have a Spreadsheet Warriors tier that's above the regular tier. And that includes a live Zoom session at least once a month, usually twice a month, where we get to talk live. And previously they were limited to 40 minutes, but I upgraded to the bigger plan with Zoom. So we can now just take the time that we need. We got one scheduled for tomorrow. Wouldn't hurt my feelings if anybody wanted to upgrade to get onto that. It's going to be at 11:30 tomorrow. And then if you only wanted to keep it for a month and downgrade, that'd be fine too. But it's the Spreadsheet Warriors tier. So if anybody has an interest in that, you can find that at the join button or in the link below. Appreciate everybody for being here tonight. Thank you for those who gifted memberships, gave super chats, super stickers. Appreciate every single one of you. Still the greatest community ever. And be looking, those of you who are channel members, remember next week while we're traveling, we're going to be going to Lake Como. We're going to be going to Milan. We're going to be going to Zurich. We're going to be flying on Swiss business class, and we're going to be flying on Emirates. And we're going to have a long layover and do lounge hopping in New York City, both in LaGuardia and in also JFK. And I'm going to try to put something up at least once a day for channel members, just kind of talking about the trip and different things related to points and miles. So Appreciate you. I'll try to do some lives while I'm gone. Not sure how the time difference will work out, but appreciate every single one of you. And my good friend, Mike Newland, even though he says it's an upgrade and I say it's not, Mike still gifted 5 Rewards Master memberships. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it more than you know. Dim says, safe travel. Same thing to you, Dim. Happy birthday. Appreciate you very much. And I will see you all here next time.